Oh,
My chat window went dead. Oh, okay.
Oh, my.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk Landmark number 26. Rolling right along.
Fix it.
Yeah.
Connect it.
It was
Make
working
it good.
a minute ago. It was working.
Make it spiffy.
Hello.
Do it.
Hello, everybody.
All right, so basically what we're going to be talking today is the future of Landmark and what it needs to really bring people in. I believe that's what we were talking about, right?
Yep.
So, and I'll wait for Geo on this one because it's kind of Geo show, not
I got it.
mine. So
I got nothing. My open broadcaster is not working.
Uh,
Are you not? Are we? What?
Yeah, we're live. It's
okay.
It's streaming, but
Geo needs to give me perms so that I can
I know, man. I have this thing cranking before we go. So anyway, so there's no chat. Sorry, everybody. No chat window. Bloody technology, I swear. If I pay for some proper software, I swear this free stuff is for the birds. Free stuff is for the birds. You're gonna do it right.
no, look,
buy something.
I just have to touch
respectable.
my camera now and then. It's free,
I've got XSplit and it sucks. Okay,
You do? Oh man. Well, because that's the one I was referring to.
It sucks compared to OBS,
Yeah.
like majorly. So okay.
Anyway, without further embarrassment to and our reputation.
Wait, we have one of those?
I know. It's a horrible thing to realize. All right, hello everybody. Okay, so hey,
Now you
big
get
stuff.
Now his audio's
Even
dead. Are you
touch the
serious?
mute button of his, oh my.
Oh, they can hear me. Okay. Anyway,
I'll do
So-
a sign language.
that's good.
Give
man.
up, Geo.
That's
Just
good.
give up.
I know. So DMG sent us a tweet over the weekend that gave us a heads up through this post by Deletionist in the forums. Good stuff, really good stuff. And in fact, from it, we've got a whole show to talk about it. So let me, Tenma, do you have the link to that particular reply of his in the showcase? I mean,
Yeah,
in the
Wergath,
forums?
I know. You're not the only one that's ever said that. I know.
I'm hoping that was the one. I'm
right.
hoping that's the one you're referring to.
Yeah. Oh, here. You know what? I got it right here.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Right there. So let me read this. So Deletionist was replying to Zuji, and it says, and Zuji was asking about. I'll read the whole thing. So Zuji says, I appreciate the way you answered this, but I don't understand. And the game, and he says, the game is about building, exploring, and collecting. Gathering is essential to collecting. Builders could be given free resources, and explorers could travel freely. But collecting can't happen without gathering. It can all happen without combat. Why does an essential element like gathering get a vertical grind to a maximum potential? In other words, if you're going to go out and gather, you're going to have to wind up doing combat at some point if you're going down to the caves to get stuff. So, and he says, is there an assumption that people who enjoy collecting will also enjoy combat? I don't think that's true. Shinies, for example, are quite popular, sometimes to the displeasure of the group combatants. Even so, if combat is the obstacle, why does one need to level their pick? So Deletionist chimes in and replies to him, and this is a really good response. Tim, you want to read it, or do you want me to grab it?
I'll do it.
Okay.
This is a tough topic to discuss. You mentioned that it can all happen without combat, which is true right now, but not necessarily true in the future. Now, before anyone freaks out, because I'm certain that that sentence is going to upset some folks, I'm not saying that exploration will require combat. We don't really want to change the fundamental way exploration works right now. outside the better combat and better caves, more connected networks, less reliance on pulverizing around to find caverns, etc. But in the future, we do want to make dungeon mastering a large component of the game, and dungeons will require combat. We also want dungeon mastering to be as important to Landmark's core gameplay as building and adventuring, meaning we will want adventurers to frequent dungeons, which means we will likely create or move something that builders want into dungeons so that adventurers can get value out of dungeons beyond the value of fun gameplay. Also, just to clarify, this doesn't mean we want to remove pure exploration. Ideally, the dungeons created via dungeon mastering will populate our underground in the same way that player-made ruins currently do, meaning explorers would have to find them for players to potentially get real loot from them. Player-made dungeons on claims should also be a thing, but those may not feature actual rewards. Honestly, this may be more than you were expecting as an answer, but I'm hopeful that with this information you can see how combat in our eyes is actually more important to Landmark than pure resource collection, and why we would invest more development time on combat features.
All right. Now I've got this. This is an amazing post, and I see why DMG gave us the heads up on this. And thank you, by the way, DMG. Thank you very much. So for me, I interpret this as closing the gameplay loop is like the second most important thing they've got on their agenda. Most important is that new user experience. And to that end of closing the gameplay loop, sounds like they're really focused on making this combat stuff really shine, and that they are anxious to get the game mastering tools in, because we've been wondering about that. They haven't talked much about it. They've been avoiding the topic. I mean, Devlin, you read this thing. Do you have a takeaway from it yet, or are you still processing it?
I'm still processing it. I mean, that's a lot of words, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what it all means whenever we break it all down and boil it all down. I mean, does combat have anything to do with exploration? Why would people be upset if it did or if it didn't? There's a lot that I'm still processing about all that.
I'm still trying to figure out why people are so reluctant to actually mix the two of combat the three: combat, gathering, and exploration. Why are people so reluctant to want to actually have these three things together as they are right now? I mean, the way it was before, when we first came into the game, there were no caves. Everything was on the surface. We had no monsters. You went around, you mined up materials, you went back to your claim, and you built. Then, with the introduction of combat, with the introduction of monsters, and the introduction of the cave systems, it added new dynamics. Some people, whine and moan and complain. I was about to say the B word, and with the implementation of newer stuff as it's come along, we've always had that one group of people that did nothing but moan and complain about something. And it's almost like, it almost makes me want to tell them to suck it up and freaking wait and see.
Yeah, everyone's got to remember, everyone who's been in the game for a while, or anybody who just got in recently, just needs to remind themselves repeatedly that we are beta testing. We are, and not open beta. We're still in closed beta testing an amazing game with amazing potential, and they're getting the pieces rolled out as they can. They got a great team. They got a large team, but they're doing groundbreaking stuff. I mean, literally groundbreaking stuff. And it's just, we're going to get it as it comes. But this post right here tells me that this is foremost on their mind. And we got our guest Nobby. Man, Nobwinkle, welcome, bud. Great to have you. So
Thanks,
where do you hail from, Nob?
Sorry?
Where do you come from?
The Netherlands.
Excellent. Welcome.
Amsterdam, tulips, stuff like that. No, I'm not gonna go there, David. Come on, man.
So,
Oh.
Nob, did you get a chance to read this particular
Yeah,
post?
I did, and I think people think the combat in Landmark is more than it actually is, and they want more from it than it actually is. It's still a building game, and they said during one of the live shows, Terry said, we're gonna give you this as a combat system, and this is going to be it for a very long time. We're first gonna do all the other things and try all the other stuff that we want to do in EQN and in Landmark, and focus a little bit more in Landmark with this new patch. That's what Terry said. So actually complaining about the combat system or how it all works together, I don't think I think it's too early to develop an opinion about it yet.
Yeah, and this gets right to the heart of what Tenma was saying. So, you know,
I mean, and now don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't like the combat system either. You know, the left right mouse button and then the freaking E button they added afterwards. You know, all that mess. It's ridiculous to me. I'm still a tab targeter. You know, I like tab targeting. You know, or soft tab or
Old kid.
yeah. I mean, because mixing the controls that we already have for, you know, getting around the world, such as, you know, looking around with your camera. I use that right mouse button to look around.
Devlin.
Wait, I'm Devlin here.
All right. So on
Fingers,
combat, and Tenma here is a perfect example of this. He already just flat out admitted it. He's a tab targeter. What we all of us need to do is get used to the fact that what we think is going to be what we're used to as far as combat, different iterations of combat from different styles of games, either if you're an old school tab targeter, or if you're a little bit more on the fly, or even if you're a Twitch-based combat person, if you do a lot of first-person shooters, none of that may apply to what's going on in Landmark. Landmark is going to be wearing a lot of different hats all at the same time. We need to make sure that it's good for what Landmark is doing, not for what we think it needs to be doing. Personally, I mean, I have some ideas about what I think combat should be, but will it work in Landmark? That's what they have to worry about. That's what the developers have to worry about.
Yeah, sorry about that. I totally forgot the headset.
Okay, so you three are wearing headsets and hats, and I'm just headset. All right, fine. That's
Yeah, but you got hair. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Enough for all three of us.
yeah, I understand they want something different for the game. They want to have something that's totally different than anybody else has. They want to be groundbreaking. I understand that, but at the same time, tab targeting, you know, up to this point, has been the most successful. It's the most highly used, and everyone is used to it. They understand how it works, and to change that now or to go to something different, I just don't see it as being the best move.
I don't agree with that statement at all.
Same here. I don't want to. No.
That's what I'm here for, Geo.
Yeah, I know. What was the first day on Landmark for you? It was new. The first time you used the pick and there was a nice circle on the ground to get your harvesting materials out of the ground. I didn't get used to that. I had to get used to it.
I got used to that, but it was when they implemented combat.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
different.
So actually, guys, we're getting sidetracked from the topic of the show, and that is dungeon mastering. The takeaway from this is that, first of all, combat is going to be a thing, and they have big plans for it still. So what we've got now is just a glimmer of what it's going to be. But the big thing here is dungeon mastering, and clearly from reading the reply by Deletionist, that dungeon mastering is high on their list, and it sounds like they want to get players, like we did for the Ruins build, when we're doing the team up stuff, they want to get players doing the exact same thing, but building dungeons using the AI, the full suite of tools that they plan on giving us, so that we can build adventures to go in those caves and those caverns. And by going through those, you'll unlock cool rewards that you won't be able to unlock by doing an adventure on someone's claim. They may have something for you in a chest somewhere that they've made, but yeah, Tenma. Yes.
It's going to take more than a 3x3 to do what they're asking.
Nobby.
Well, you said we were going off target and off topic, but isn't designing the actual dungeon and placing all the mobs in it with all the AI essential? What kind of combat style you're using? Because when I'm using tab target, I can just tab a monster and pull it away from some corner. But when I got these combat skills with moving targets and stuff like that, and an actual cursor, I have to move myself around the corner to get the mob out of it. So I think how we play the combat and how it's working is pretty essential to originally designing a dungeon.
Well, clearly what we're going to have to do is make sure we're giving lots of feedback when they introduce these dungeon mastering tools, because I think you hit on something before we even have these that is going to be an issue right away. Mm-hmm. Because anyone who's played EverQuest or EverQuest 2, you've sat at if you've done any time in the game, you've sat at a camp with friends on a quest trying to kill a certain mob, whatever it is, a camp, and someone's out there, their job is to pull because their character class is given a skill set to go do this. Well, we don't have classes in this game, but Bingo. What we have are people that are good at certain things. They're good at certain things. They're comfortable doing that, and I'm one of those. I love to be the person who's going out pulling all the mobs. So I can bring 1, 2, or 3 at a time, depending whatever the group's good at, or whatever the group wants. So when we do the dungeon mastering stuff, we need to be able to design encounters that are going to be challenging for people. It's going to be fun. I can't imagine what it's going to be like when we've got 100, 200, 300 people that are building dungeons for something like a team up build, where these are things that are going to go into the game. They're going to be in the caverns. These are the quests that we've been talking about for a long time. So anyway, so Tenma, have you been thinking or planning any dungeons that you want to build? Any quests, adventures, that kind of thing?
Devlin? I can't. Without knowing what the tool sets are and exactly how the system's going to work, trying to plan something out ahead of time is like a waste of time. That's the way I look at it. They have given no information on how this thing's going to work, or even a screenshot of how this thing's going to work. The fact that Storybricks, is no more, and they're basically building their own version of it now. And we still had the only information we had about Storybricks was a few screenshots or a small little video on how you put the pieces together, but that was in its early development. Mm-hmm. It still has. And that's what we saw. That's no information. And I would love, if we're the beta testers and we are supposedly seen as, helping out the developers and stuff like that, give us some information. Let us give you some feedback. That way you don't get all the way to the end of your creation process and it be a flop when you go to actually push it out to us. That's a lot of the things that's kind of hurt the game as it is now, because we don't know jack poop until you give it to us. Now, granted, it's cool because it's like you opening up a fresh box and it's new toys, it's cool. But then after we figure out there's something wrong with it, then you got to go back through the whole entire process, of changing stuff to make it work for the players.
Devlin, how would you see this sort of dungeon mastering work?
I tend to agree with Tenma here whenever it comes to this particular thing. We don't know how it's going to be done. We may have ideas. Personally, I do not care at all about dungeon building, dungeon mastering at all. And we were talking briefly about this before the show. To me, there needs to be more context given in the game. I mean, in this very same forum post, they were talking about making this new update more of a landmark-focused update rather than an EQN testing update. And to me, if we start throwing in dungeons on top of all of the other half-implemented gameplay systems that we have, it's going to feel very jumbled to me. I want more context given before we start adding anything bigger like that into the game. But personally, as far as dungeons go, I'm completely uninterested because I need more information on it.
Zepsula said, I hate how people say Storybricks is no more. I hate to tell you, but Storybricks is no more. The company closed. The actual Daybreak Studios still has the base software, and that's what they're building off of, okay? But Storybricks closed its doors.
Yep. It sounds to me like the job that they were hired to do, the consult was partially consulting, and I think they sounds to me like they hit some milestones. But clearly, by reading this message from Deletionist, this stuff is high on their agenda. And what would be nice is in a future Landmark Live is if they have anything they can demo for us or to talk about what their approach to this is going to be, and maybe get some feedback from the player community as they're working on it, would be fantastic. We need as much as they're willing to show us. Because in the past they've tried to build a working model or have something that's 80% done and then share it with us. But with this, it would be nice to be able to have a peek under the hood as it's being built. Don't you agree, Nobby?
Absolutely. Well, in the past they've shown us a lot, and since the whole Daybreak thing happened, they are showing less, but they are giving more. So I don't know how Terry is in this and all the other guys. I like it because we the players get to experience what they are throwing out there and get to pick out all the bugs and stuff. But I sincerely hope that this whole dungeon creating thing will be thrown out just like we got this last patch and all the new textures and the way you have to level up your weapons and stuff like that. I like being thrown out to the lions and just do my thing and figure it out. And if I don't figure it out, I'll figure it out with somebody else.
So any new Easter eggs with this that you guys have found with this most recent update? Hotfix and
other than a few slipped in materials.
Well, the leveling up of your weapon, of course.
Are you talking about the upgrades? About the upgrades?
Yeah.
Yeah. With the founder's pick being able to be upgraded versus it was only a tier 2. Now it can go all the way up to end game, which is pretty awesome. We got the new materials. I thought that was freaking awesome.
Oh, the new woods, the
new wood, yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Man.
So we're building this Western town. We're building our next movie set as I'm still editing.
We got wood.
Yeah.
We got the lantern.
Really nice stuff.
That lantern.
Oh, yeah.
The lantern that they gave us, and then they took it
Halas?
away. Yeah, they added it. And into the chest system. Then they took it out, and then they were like, "What was it? The Halas lantern can now be deconstructed or whatever the heck it was." And we were like, "It's not in the game anymore." But apparently, it's in there now, which is awesome.
Yeah, because I remember for a long time there was a copy. There were several of those lamps over at Lady Kathleen's museums. One of the museums had because it was in the game for a short time, but
Daggone it. I'm trying to think now. The other issue that I have right now is the fact that when you first came into the game, you had like this prompt window, and it guided you through the first steps. I think that needs to come back and guide towards people to have that guide people to the achievement system in some form or fashion.
No.
I think so.
I'm getting a link for someone who asked about the new wood textures. I've tweeted about this. Here we go. Here's the link, guys. Those are the new 4 wood textures they dropped in.
Yeah, the little, what do you call it? The little design
man, I
work
love
stuff. Beautiful, beautiful. But we don't really have a wood texture like that color. I'd love to have regular wood texture.
Well, it comes close to those. I think it's burled wood.
The Canosian roof edging or something like that. It comes close to.
Yeah.
Also, the worn-looking wood texture that we got only goes in one direction.
Yeah, we need that to go vertically as well.
We need verticals. We need ones that go this way and one that goes this way.
So you want 2 diagonals?
Yeah.
No, we don't have 2 diagonals on any of the other woods, do we?
No, we only got one diagonal, and if one direction on one side looks this way, but if you go to the other side, it looks this way.
Yeah.
Now, if they took this side and they flipped this around, it would work fine. They just give us 2 textures. One goes this way, one goes this way. It would work fine.
Wouldn't that mess up a sphere?
A sphere?
Yeah, if you got like I'm gonna do your thing that you're always doing with your tutorials. Hold on. You got like this form. Not a ball or a sphere or an orb, but this regular form, and you want diagonals on it. It's gonna deform at some angle.
Yeah, well, it would.
Pizza Hut, the Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Sorry. Definitely cracking up again.
Devlin, you had a fun time today, man.
Oh man, I'm done.
It's so nice having you back. It's you've been busy with the new job and stuff, so it's nice to see you a little more often than before.
I'm glad to be back. I told you guys I was going to make a concentrated effort to try to be here more often, and ta-da!
Are you building anything for the competition?
I tried. It the way that those roofs are, how they kind of curve upwards and outwards at the same time, I can't get. My voxel building skills are not that good. I can't build anything like that. That's it's beyond my capability.
I'm hoping that we're going to get some of these bits and pieces that are difficult for many of us to build. I think are going to get dropped off at AOWin's swap. She's doing that's Australia gal. She's doing a swap for this competition, and yeah, I think there's some talented folks out there that are going to save the rest of us so that we can do what we're good at. We're taking these bits and pieces and then creating the stuff around it. So
Yeah.
I saw what you're up to, Nubby.
That works good for small stuff. But if you're building a whole house, yeah, that ain't gonna work.
I love the artwork that was it Josh tweeted out. It looks like a painting. I don't know if everybody saw that. Yeah, I've got it here somewhere. Actually, it's in my desktop background, but I'm not going to mess with my stuff. It was a beautiful, beautiful painting picture. He tweeted it out. It's on Twitter. Just search Josh Augustine's tweets. Oh, and we lost Abby. He forgot to touch himself. He had to touch his phone to stay active. Oh, man. Oh, well.
One day, he'll get a real phone.
A real camera.
It's great.
Oh, his internet went down.
Oh, his internet. Oh, lovely. All right. Well,
he didn't touch himself and it went down.
He did. Okay, so I think this kind of gets us to the point of, what is it going to take to keep keep the game going for the next 5, 10 years. What is really going to have to be done to bring this thing to fruition once we go into alpha or open beta? Sorry.
Yeah, well, when we get to open beta, I mean, we're going to need a completed game loop for sure.
I'm still here. You got my pretty picture over my.
Yeah.
Look, it doesn't change. Watch. Wait. Let me see. Okay, like this. Okay.
See, unlike you guys, I think there is a game loop. It's already there.
Already?
It's already there. It's just people can't get it. They just can't drop their ideals of what they see and actually look.
So
It's
says the guy
there.
that. So says the guy that still preaches about tab targeting. Really? Come
Yes.
on, man.
Yeah.
Hypocrites
I
are not Greek
I don't-
animals, Tenma. Okay, that's all there is to it.
I don't understand what people are actually even like whining and moaning, complaining about with a closed game loop. I just don't understand it. If you can tell me, please do. What's missing?
What's
My
missing?
face is missing.
What's missing?
Look.
The
This-
dungeon mastering. The
Well,
the dungeon mastering and AI.
that's a bonus. That's a bonus. But that has nothing to do with the loot.
Well, for me, it was one of the big reasons why the whole group of people that I brought in with Landmark Explorer when we got started. That's what these guys were all waiting for, was the dungeon mastering stuff, because they're here to use this as a tool to build their stories, build their adventures for other people to play. Because I think it's that sort of system that is going to hold the attention of the thousands and thousands of players that we hope to attract to Landmark, because not everyone's going to build, and not everyone's going to enjoy just running around looking at claims and harvesting stuff. They want to play. So this brings the game to Landmark Game, Tenma.
I don't see that as being part of a loop of any sort. I mean, you've got builders, you've got quest makers, you've got adventurers, you've got diggers, you've got choppers. But everybody says, yeah, everything needs to be linked together in some form or fashion. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be linked in any way for it to actually be functional.
Well, the dungeon mastering stuff can give building more meaning.
Knob, what have you got? I see you saying something.
Navi, what's up, brother?
He wants
I've
to
been
come
back for
back.
10 minutes and my face is still not my face.
I know.
Yeah.
Kick
Kick him out. Kick him out.
Might have to call you back, Navi.
Yeah.
Get you back
okay.
in.
Drop and I'll re-add you.
There, he's been dropped. Now our screen's going to rearrange. Yeah, the game. A lot of people are waiting for the game to be added. Hey, there he is, man! Like magic, brilliant.
Da-da-da.
And I think also the whole dungeon mastering and AI thing can give more meaning to building, because then you're building with real specific purpose. When you're building your structures, your whatever your thing is that you're doing, however large it's going to be, when you're building to create an adventure, then you're building with purpose. And I equate that to like what we're doing with the movie set. That's, to me, that is building with purpose. You've been doing the community build stuff for a long time, and it's a thing. I mean, that brings game to Landmark, is because there's nothing like it anywhere. But now that you're doing it with a purpose, for you're building a movie set for filming, for telling a story, that's in some ways a little bit like the dungeon mastering concept.
Well, and Voxel Vision's asking, what is my loop? basically, I mean, for the longest time, people were saying an economy was the loop. You know, the game can go without an economy. I mean, players make their own economy. You know, if I find high value in diamonds, then that is the economy. You know, if I find high value in, cobalt or, ruby or rubicite or whatever, that is my value for a monetary system. We don't have to have gold in the system to actually have a monetary system. If the materials themselves are considered the actual monetary thing in the world, then there you go. Let the players dictate that. If if I find value in somebody's template, then that is the monetary system. That is the loop that brings everything together. Let the players dictate it, and not some system that the developers have actually placed into the world. That is my loop. That's the way I look at things when it comes down to actually the world that we have played in. There's no need for certain
But
things to be in the
be
game.
foreign. That may be foreign to a lot of future players that we hope to draw to the game. I think in every game everyone's played, and of course this is a next gen MMO that we're doing. So that it's great parts of it are still undefined. But in every game that's out there, you got an economy. You buy and sell stuff.
It's kind of like a bartering system in a way. You have I have 100,000 diamond, I have 100,000 gold or 100,000 marble, right? You have a template that I would like to have a copy of. I give you 100,000 diamond, you give me the template, and boom, you've got a bartering system. The basic concept is right there. I mean, that's how
you can do
simple
that, and you can do that in EverQuest and EverQuest 2.
exactly.
And there's also the equivalent of the bazaar, the auction house. Devlin, question?
Speaking of Bazaar, I have something to say.
Okay.
Now, Geo just said something that is really important about what we're talking about here. Next gen MMO. And I hate to break it to everybody, but next gen does not mean shinier graphics, okay? That is not what Landmark is all about. That's not what next generation really truly is. You can leave graphics behind. You may stop your internal dialogue now. Shut up. You are wrong, okay? Okay, good. Now,
I'll be right back.
one of the issues that I've seen here that a lot of people don't really tend to understand about what Landmark really truly is. It's not a game in the traditional sense, and I know a lot of people don't. They understand that, but they don't really understand why. Most games, up until, well, practically everything I've ever played has been incredibly passive. You are playing the game. There's nothing really for you to actively do. Landmark and games like it that share the same kind of building techniques that we have here, even something as simple as Minecraft, where you're just placing down gigantic blocks. You are creating something. You are not passively letting the game play and you are interacting with it. You are actively creating something in the game. And the sad fact is, a lot of people don't want that. They are consumer-based. They want to be able to join in on something, get some kind of loot out of it, and have some kind of instantaneous return for what they think has been their work, for what they're doing. And that's where a lot of these issues that we're talking about start coming into play here. Dungeon mastering and dungeons will allow those people to have something to do in the game whenever they do not want to just sit there and create. Landmark, as it is right now, is a creationist's tool. And that's what we all are. We're creating things, we're testing things. A lot of people don't want to do that. That's why we don't see a lot of people in the game right now. Period. End of story. To break that true next-gen barrier, it's going to have to be open for everybody to take part in. Something for people who want to do nothing but combat. Something for people who want to do nothing but build. Something for people who want to do nothing but explore. Something for people who want to do nothing but mine, and so on and so forth. And the simple fact is, it is not like that right now. Where it is right now is kind of a matter of debate depending on which hat you're focusing on, because Landmark is still wearing a lot of hats, but it's not done yet. Simple. It's just not. Period. End of story.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a big influx of people after this last patch. Everybody was like geared, like, "Oh my god, yes, finally we're getting the big patch!" And then all of a sudden, right off, just like that.
Yeah, people coming back to check out what's new, what's changed, and then they.
I love you too, random citizen.
Was that comment to somebody?
Yeah, Zeb said. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So people coming in, they're just checking stuff. They're seeing what's new, what's changed, so they can keep up with it, and they see that it's.
Raz just said, "Point of order. Landmark doesn't have hats yet."
We still can't even sit down in this game. Come on, guys. The gameplay loop being done. Are you serious? We can't even sit down.
That's another thing. This game needs more emotes.
Oh.
We need break face. We need
Face break. Break face is
break
at thing you
face.
eat in the morning.
I need a cape.
break face break, however you will say it. That right there. Okay. I want to roll back for over a year ago, where they were like, "Oh yeah, we're going to have this, and we're going to have this, and we're going to have this," and a lot of those things are not in the game. One of them being face break face, whatever you want to call it. We still don't have that. That right there, I would love by itself. Another thing, we were promised hats. At least 6 months ago. We still do not have hats in the game. What else has there been said that we were going to have that we don't have? Come on, guys. I know y'all.
Yeah, well, for next gen MMO, the player character, the character itself, I mean, has got to be really, really robust. It's got to top everything else that's out there. It really does. It's got to shine in ways that characters have never shined before in any game.
Yeah, we're trying not to say SOE moat, but yes, that's what we're referring to. Face break. But let's see. I'm trying to think of all the different stuff that they've said that we were going to have that we don't have, and also LOD. Fix it, please.
Yeah. Now there was a comment brought up on the show today when we were touring around, because we started talking about the LOD issue, and we were curious that, you know what, we saw about the time that they were working on fixing the sky, the issues with the flashing stuff in the sky, was about the time that the extended LOD disappeared. So for a while, it seemed like a month, maybe longer, we had an improved LOD that was stunning. It was really, really cool. Yeah, Nobby.
What if they build these islands and these textures in the patch before the extended LOD, and they chop this in, and they are programming the next stuff for the new patch with better LOD? I'm not a rocket scientist, but
Well, I hope that's something they're able to roll out soon. I mean, come on, we are in closed beta, so these are a lot of systems that they're working on simultaneously, as well as working on stuff for EverQuest Next that we don't see.
I'm also going to push out there. You're going to need at least 10 times the amount of achievements than what you have right now. That's another thing that has got to be in there. If you're going to run an achievement system, you're going to have to go way bigger than what you have now.
Well, I encourage everyone to, if you have ideas for achievements you'd like to see in the game, man, make sure you post them on the forums or bring them up with us during the show, because we really, we need to give them as many suggestions as we can.
Yeah, maybe get like I dropped 2,000 meters and you get a crash test dummy outfit or something like that. Stuff like that. No, I'm serious. People like that kind of stuff. Or take a dive from a cliff into the water with the shift button and stop laughing, Geo. With the shift button and stuff like that. People like that. Or make 300 somersaults and get like a outfit with a puking figure on it. That's what
A
people
crash
want.
test dummy outfit.
Yeah.
Daybreak, if you're listening, give that to us immediately. Oh, man.
Of a lawn dart t-shirt or something like that. Like that.
Look, seriously, I think some of these outfits would be really easy to make because you just need one model of a T-shirt and then different graphics on it.
Yeah.
You know, for different achievements. It's just fun, easy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And hats. Yeah.
Let's see. Trying to think of what else.
Didn't they say at one point we were going to be able to mix and match armor bits and be able to even dye our own sets of clothing? I would love to be able to do that. I would love to be able to like make my own clothing, like in a separate editor or something like that. You know, be able to customize things that we already have. But I mean, that's all just polish on top of everything else. That's not at all what I was referring to there. I mean, these things would be good frosting on the rest of the cake, but the cake isn't done baking yet. It's not done yet. That's all there is to it.
I can already tell you that the actual marketplace, you know, you creating something and putting it up on the market, they're not making a lot of money off that.
No, because they didn't foresee the gameplay going the way that it has.
Until they open it up to where you can actually create things outside of this game and be able to import, that will never make money at all for the game entirely. I just don't see it.
Well, you know what? I would love to see them open up that ability, that feature for making outfits and weapon skins. But now with weapon skins, if they give us a voxel forge, we can do things like weapon skins. But outfits, I really think you're going to, because of the level of detail needed. You need to have the
Geo, if you ever get that voxel forge, I don't ever want to hear or see you ever again. I just want to see you standing in front of that voxel forge, hard at work.
I will.
Look,
I think
you'll be hosting the Morning Brew for the next 6 months when
That's
happens.
okay.
I think it's a bit too early for creating your own outfits and stuff like that, because you have to have
of course.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You have to have a solid base with towns and
the
stuff.
Characters, we don't even know. We don't even know if the character models we have now are going to be the final
product. Exactly.
Yeah.
I can officially say that Geo attempted to build this weekend.
No.
He laid voxels, guys. He laid
Called the
voxels.
newspaper.
And I will honestly say that Jet Running Dog builds better than he does.
Way to go, Jet. He's got his SOS.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of digressed a little bit here. Indeed, most of this stuff is not needed at this point. But yes, I mean it's just all solid points about the fact that the majority of us tend to think that there's still refining that needs to be done in the game. There's still things that need to be worked on inside of the game. There's still systems in the game that, to complete the game by definition of what the game is trying to be, still need to be done. There's still things that can be done.
Another thing that I would really like to see is a full list of the bug fixes over what they've been giving us so far. They've been giving us these little bitty list of bug fixes like this.
Yep, you're right. Absolutely.
And then they always put at the very bottom, and many more. You know, that I'm like, many more? Well, show me the many more. I want to see them, you know, because if there's something that's been directly affecting me, I want to know if it's fixed or not. And if it is, I'll test it and tell you if it's fixed.
Here's her bug list fix.
Exactly.
Bug list fix.
Exactly. I mean, because if they're saying that it's fixed and it's not listed up there that it is fixed, then you know that it was never tackled. You know, I would rather know that it was tackled, and then I could check to see if the bug was actually fixed or not.
because our
Wait a minute,
primary
Tenma,
our
are you
primary
saying
role
that
here is,
you-
is to beta test. So
Are you saying that you think that maybe some kind of American corporation might actually be lying to its consumer base? Oh my goodness, say it's not so.
Well, if it's not in print, then I can't tell you if they are or not. But I mean, we've seen it in the
Precisely
past
the
where
point.
we've seen it in the past where they've actually said that, okay, we fixed this bug and it was still in the game. We were still experiencing it. But I just would like to know that, if it has been tackled, I can check to see if it has, and if it has, I'll put it up on the bugs list. Hey, this has not been resolved yet. It's like a confirmation. You want us to help you, then you have to.
no, Timo, this is a
Help.
really
Put it out.
great idea. I think if there's a important takeaway from today's show, that is it right there.
Yeah, and he can use his whiteboard more often because then he gets to get the bugs off and write down new bugs just to do the checklist on the patch notes.
Smackdown number
Three of
2.
All three of them.
He's 3.
Nah.
He's like uber geek.
Oh my
Please
god.
send Tenma dry erase markers. He's going to need them.
I got a big one.
Yes.
I mean, at this point in time, the way I'm kind of looking at it is we're beta testers. We're here to help find the bugs. We're here to help direct the developers in a direction to more easily for them to be able to find where the problem is and fix it. You give it to us, we test it. If we don't like it, we tell you, you change it, we send it back to us, we retest it, we send it back to you again. It's a rinse and repeat until the game is in its completed version. Then we push it out to free to play, open beta, whatever you want to call it, and that's the way I kind of look at things. That is our job. That's what we bought into the game for. But when they start having lack of communication, where we went almost a month and a half and didn't even have a show to communicate with us, that right there killed things for me right there. Waiting for a show. I don't. You could come on the show and just talk about the process of what it is that you're doing over there. That involve me in what you're doing.
Yeah, and use it as an opportunity to get feedback from the folks who really care about Landmark, who really want to see this be a world-class MMO.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. They probably have things that they would like to talk to us about, but can't. I'm sure they have some kind of set schedule about things, when to disclose things, when to discuss things, what things they can talk about. I mean, that we have to take that into consideration as well. It's not like they're like us, where they're just having fun building a game and they get on, do their show and just talk about it with us. I mean, they are indeed a company here. They're making money off of this. They have some kind of business plan about it.
Yeah.
They may not be able to do what we want them to do. I mean, we have to kind of take what we can get.
Well, now that they're several months past the the sale of the company, we're starting to see some really nice changes. We're starting to get more information. This post from Deletionist today, or that DMG gave us the heads up on over the weekend, was great, because into that post you can read a lot of things. You can see that you can see a little window into their priorities. You can see how important this this dungeon mastering thing is, and what their perspective on the fuller game is. So I see lots of good stuff coming from that. I hope it continues. I mean, don't you guys want to be able to look under the hood of some of the stuff that's going on, and maybe contribute your thoughts, your ideas to the direction it's going to go, instead of having them give you something and then say, well, this would be better if it... Yeah? No?
Tough question, man.
I think a lot of that kind of depends on, like what I was just talking about what it is that you specifically want to be doing in a game like this that's being so open about its development. Like the whole dungeon mastering thing, I won't lie, I don't care at all about it. Am I going to want to look under the hood and see how it all works? I might take a peek, but I mean, is it really going to affect me? If it's really neat tools and I can think of something to do with it, yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. But for right now, no, I'm not going to care. I don't care about that. That's not where my focus is.
Hmm.
So
That's it.
So where is your focus right now?
My
No, that
focus.
yeah, because you've taken a break and you're back. You're starting to get back in.
Well, I mean that's the whole point about this. I mean, everybody's focus is going to be a little bit personalized and a little bit different from what everybody else's is. I mean, my particular
I asked.
focus is just doing building and seeing what all different kind of things I can do. There are indeed some changes that have been made. I mean, my muscle memory wants to do certain things with building that isn't quite working out anymore. And it's just a matter of getting back into the game and getting back into doing things. I mean, other people are going to want to test combat whenever we actually want to do that. Other people are going to want to do mess around with the dungeon mastering things. Some people just want to catalog and do bug fixes. It's all a matter of what you specifically want to do about it. What?
So
Just bug fixes. I felt that was directed towards me or something.
Yeah,
No,
but-
I mean there are some people that want to see the game just done and completed, but want to actually get in there and see what is all wrong with the game because we need to fix those things that are wrong in order to get the game done.
Well,
That's what I'm talking about. They don't have any kind of specific focus.
That's why I ground so hard on those achievements. I mean, I knocked them out and was probably one of the first people to complete them all. And at the very end, the hardest achievement was the getting 100 likes on a claim. And I'm glad that everybody pitched together and helped me test that out because it doesn't work. It's broken. So
Batwinkle, you're beautiful.
Batwinkle.
I look like Dennis Leary. He looks like Moby.
But it's little fixing, stuff like that. I want to see the game to shine. I want to see it, actually get to the point where it's something where it attracts everybody to come and play. And I don't know. I just have my misconceptions right now, just because I see things a little differently.
Well, we'd love to get someone from the team over at Daybreak onto the show here in the next few weeks to get a chance to talk to our audience and let them know maybe what we should be looking at down the pike, or explaining to us how what their take on combat's going to be, or to even come in and just get some feedback from the audience.
I think that would be awesome. I mean, not just for us here or anything like that, but I mean, it's been a while since I think anybody from Daybreak has actually gotten on a show with anybody with like any streamers here and just sat down and chat.
Wasn't it Steve Klug with you?
yeah,
Tenma?
he was the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
And
it's been a little while. We would like to do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have, just so everybody knows, we've contacted who needed to be contacted, and they were like, "Well, don't expect anything until after the patch."
Obviously,
Well,
yeah.
it's been after the patch, and we have heard nothing back since. So, yeah, we don't know.
Well, time to ping them again.
Yep.
And wow, guys, it's almost time to wrap. So Nobby, man, tell us what you're doing. What are you doing in the Landmark right now?
Well, I started Takish, but not my thing. I made a tower. It looked like a freaking lightsaber, so I ditched Takish for now, and I'm building my own island. And I got this idea of a pirate boat upside down as a house. So that's gonna be my little hideout.
Dude, I liked your lightsaber. Seriously.
Yeah,
that
you
thing
did?
was cool. And
Oh man.
I think you should look. I think you should enter that. Really, it's almost complete.
No.
It looked really good. What about it weren't you happy with?
Sorry?
What about it were you not happy with? Your lightsaber.
It wasn't Takish for me.
Okay.
It was too simple. It didn't have that organic feel that all the other Turkish build had. Like the roofs are super organic, and the top of my tower or the top of the towers that are currently being made, I saw some really cool towers though, but I think they need more detail though.
Well, you got to put that thing back in the world somewhere.
Yeah,
man.
I will. I'll
it was
put
awesome.
it back. I wasn't too proud of it, so I took it down. I'll put it back. You guys could check it out and give me feedbacks. Let's see what I can do about it. I'm not a big forum poster. I should do that more. I know.
Well, we've got a
know.
weekly screenshot submission thread that's in the player showcase section on the forums. Everybody, please go there. If you're working on something, share your screenshots there, and we'll make sure that we try and visit them during the morning brew, as well as put them on the pre-show. So I do about 20-minute pre-show before the morning brew starts, just of all the pictures from Twitter and the forums that are out there from Landmark, so people get a chance to see stuff that maybe they're not seeing on Twitter.
Geo?
It's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
My Skype is giving me problems again. I think it's going to break down. I'm not going to click OK yet, so we'll see how long we can keep this going.
Yeah, you got a freeze frame going there.
Yeah, freeze frame. Leave the freeze frame out. We'll be good.
It's good, man. It's good. It's good.
You've got that
Shall we try to get me
look on your
really
face, you know?
quickly back so I can say goodbye to everyone, or just...
Yeah, just hang tight for a moment. And Devlin, so man, tell us, so you said earlier you're working on a new house?
Yes, indeed. I'm working on building a new modern house right now, just to kind of reacquaint myself with everything. The house that I did have was good, but I kind of wanted to get something new for the new version of the game, and I wanted to make something a little bit more streamlined and a little bit more realistic as far as like things that are going to be inside the house rather than just testing things out. I'm going to eventually put down my house again, and I hope with this, especially with the new claim expansions that we have, to eventually do my ultimate goal that I had originally, was to build a small little community of various modern houses, all done with good high detail. So in case people want to have something like the Nightlife Club, for example, if they don't want to actually build something, they just want to move in someplace, then they can do that. And the Nightlife Club is going back up just as soon as I can.
Awesome. I can't wait. So one of the things that was holding you up were mats.
Yeah, that's really
it sounds
the only
like
thing.
Voxel Vision Fierce is taking care of that, so that's good stuff.
Indeed, mats and a place to actually put the club. I just need to do a little bit of scouting for where to actually place the club itself. If anybody has any decent ideas, please do go ahead, hit me up. You guys know my Twitter. You guys know what my name is in game. Let me know if you guys know of a spot that would work good for a club like that.
Tenma, what do you got going on, brother?
Right now, just working on some stuff on the side, trying to work out the new tutorials and the schedule I want to kind of set in stone to. That's pretty much the big thing for me. At the same time, I've been working on the Western Wild Voxel location, trying to do some cleanup and all that kind of stuff over on that. We did the community build over on Saturday, which was pretty awesome.
That was fun.
And
I really enjoyed that.
And it's not done yet. There's a lot more detail work that's going to be done to it before it's totally ready. But it'll be used in Geo's movie. But that's the big things from me, at least, and be streaming during the week.
Excellent. And Wednesday, we've got Let's Talk Landmark number 27.
Yeah! And I'm back to say...
You got guests lined up for that yet?
Well, so far we've got our normal crew, and it'd be kind of cool if Nobwinkle, but it's way past his bedtime.
Yeah, it's like midnight.
I know. And I wish I could be there, though. I hope I can pick up the European times between you guys.
I'm still hoping to get Verlin on the show at some point in time.
Yeah, his work schedule has been a little difficult.
Yeah, but yeah.
You said Merlin?
Verlin.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And
what is Nob doing?
My screen.
No idea.
I'm like here.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm going
Okay.
to get my friend, and he's going to say goodbye to everyone.
Okay.
You're going to
All right.
love him. Give me 1 second.
It's a dog. It's a cat. It's a ferret. It's a dog.
A dog.
It's a dog.
A dog?
That is a big dog.
Oh my gosh! Wow, kept them under wraps for the show. Oh, check.
Oh, he's a Rottweiler! Yes!
Nobby.
Puppy,
Jeez.
puppy.
It's a
Puppy.
big dog. It's
Yeah.
it's Nobby Jr. Everybody, Nobby Jr. Nobby, what's his name? He can't hear us. He's got his nuts.
Wait. So Batwinkle and Knob Dog.
Knob dog.
Knob dog.
Knob Dog.
No! Hey! Dog's like,
Oh my
what?
God.
So we
All
all,
right, well,
should have yelled attack.
Welcome to live television, everybody. Well, so what I've got going on, working on editing the movie. I've switched over to Premiere Pro, and so it's coming along, making some good progress. And got a few more lines that need to be read for.
He
Tenma.
froze. He froze.
He froze. He
No,
froze.
I
Like
didn't.
this.
My camera froze.
Okay.
He's like this.
But in terms of what I'm building, I've got a big claim put down right now, and my plan has always been to build a town, a village. For me, a British, I love the British pub stuff, but I'm not going to put down the old buildings that I built in the closed beta, first half of the closed beta. I'm going to build something new, like Devlin, which is, I haven't placed down any of my templates yet.
Oh wait, his name is DJ, by the way.
DJ. Oh,
Yep.
good. DJ.
And I got
dog.
a little French bulldog who's laying here at my feet, but he's sleeping, and he's gonna bite my freaking fingers off when I pick him up. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, let sleeping dogs lie. All right.
It's like Geo. You have to break out the rolled up newspaper.
my God.
No, never. No. I will never hurt my animals.
I'm still waiting to find out if Jet has been doing that lately or not.
He rocked, dude. So my son got to participate in the community build over the weekend. He had an absolute blast, and it was fun to watch my 8-year-old yell at Spider Oz to get out of his house. He built jets. It was a tavern or a restaurant or something, and he was yelling at Spider Oz. Move.
He was so focused building
He's so
that
funny.
style,
But
than
Tenma,
Spider.
really, thanks to the
That's
community, he had a great time, and that was
That's great.
really special to him.
It was cool to get him involved in it at least, and we went in, we made some changes afterwards, like styling and stuff like that kind of changes. But the base build he did was pretty awesome. It looked better than Geo's.
Yeah, well, I'm here to entertain. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Episode 26 is a wrap.
Yep.
Good
that's
stuff.
done.
26.
26,
I'm sorry for the
everybody.
bad camera work. I'll get Jeffrey
okay.
and make him work. No, I'm kidding. Next time I'm on, I'll make sure I got a better camera because it's in the mail. I'm just waiting for it.
All right, excellent, man. Well, thank you for joining us today, Knob.
Just glad
Yeah,
you
it
could make it.
Finally,
Yo,
finally.
oh man, I was driving crazy. I was getting tickets and
He was Skyping me while
he's
driving.
driving.
He had it like behind the steering wheel going like, I'm on my way. And I'm like,
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, okay, dude. I'm like, okay. I was scared to say too much or do too much because I feel bad if all of a sudden the truck flipped and it was my fault.
Maybe that's just how they roll in the Netherlands.
And you
It's all
didn't take that
small
opportunity to scream, "Look out!" as loud as you could. And come on.
Oh my God.
I completely made a fool out of myself while laughing again.
I could see me getting arrested for being a passenger in his vehicle while he got in a wreck. I don't know. It just was not good. I was feeling kind of bad.
I'd pay to see that.
No.
You getting arrested by
Yo, be nice.
the Netherlands police.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. No accidents, though.
God, thank you guys. Thank you very, very much. I love y'all.
Love you too, man. Be good, everybody.
All right.
Go out there and build something. We'll come take a look.
Have a good one.